What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another week of Mind Mirror Reflections. This week, there's only one reflection, but I think it's a pretty good one. So I watched a TED Talk called 4 Reasons to Learn a New Language. And when I watched it, I got really excited because I had the same question that he had in the TED Talk years ago. And that is, why bother to know or learn a foreign language when the world is moving in a direction where everyone's going to speak English? So since I had thought about this before, I actually had 3 reasons of my own of why someone should learn a foreign language, a language other than English. And one of mine overlapped with his, so let me start with that. And the first one is to imbibe a culture. To truly be a part of a culture, you should learn a foreign language. There's a really cool quote that goes with that. If culture was a house, then language was the key to the front door, to all the rooms inside. That quote was by Khalid Hosseini, and I think it's so true. And that's not to say that you can't understand a culture without knowing the language. But I think there's a difference between someone who knows the local language and someone who doesn't. And the difference in understanding and the true effect, the full flavor that you're supposed to get out of a culture, understand its values, its nuances. I think that can only happen if you know the language of that culture. My second reason why is all about diversity. I mean, I don't think I have to convince anyone that diversity is amazing. Diverse food, diverse people, diverse animals. Like, imagine if there was only one type of fish, or one type of bird, or one type of food. Yeah, it works, but the excitement isn't there, the fun isn't there. I mean, all these different languages also have entertainment in those languages, such as movies and music. And if we don't pass that on to other generations, I feel that maybe 100, 200, 500 years from now, the language won't exist and we'll stop having entertainment in other languages. I mean, I love English, don't get me wrong, but honestly, it's a really bad language if you think about it. And I'm not just saying that because I'm brown, but you can ask anyone. There are more exceptions than rules in English. Nothing makes sense in English. It's derived from so many other languages, we don't even know what it is anymore. It's one of the least systematic languages out there. And yet, every person in the world has to learn it just to be able to communicate and live in the 21st century. And on the other side, there's so many languages that are so systematic. The conjugations of words make sense. There are more variations in words, such as some languages have more words for colors. So those people actually see colors differently just because of the way their language names different shades of a color. In many Eastern languages, the alphabet is organized by the way that your mouth makes the sound of that letter. And so one line would be all from the tip of your mouth or your lips, and then it can go backwards all the way down to the back of your mouth. And even numbers, just knowing and learning numbers in a different language can help your brain do math easier and faster. And I'm not saying that we should only learn another language for these benefits. Yeah, learning a language may make us smarter or sharper or our brain more developed. But for me, it's all about keeping that diversity, that choice, those options on the menu of languages. And the third reason why I think that we all should know another language is to preserve literature. There's so many books and scriptures and religious texts that are written in other languages. And yeah, they've been translated into English and other languages. And you can ask anyone that when you translate something from one language to another, it loses its meaning, it loses its power, its flavor, and the intention of the way it was supposed to be written that the author had might not be there. And I feel that there is this ocean of knowledge that's written in other languages, and we just don't have access to it nowadays because languages like Sanskrit, not many people in the world speak anymore. But there are thousands and thousands of pages of science, math, arts, and different aspects of life that are written in such languages. And theoretically, looking into the future, I would just feel bad if all of this knowledge that was made by so many great people in the past was just wasted just because we don't know that language. And my call to action is that if you speak another language, preserve it. Think about it, about passing it on to future generations. And before we can pass it on, we're going to have to speak it ourselves. My goal for this week is to not speak in English with my friends who also know another language. I think finding a friend or a buddy or a family member to enjoy this language with makes preserving it a lot much easier and a lot more fun. And if you don't speak another language other than English, Just see what's out there, appreciate it. You know, someone once told me that never make fun of someone who can't speak English properly, because that means that they know another language even better. I think creating an environment or making someone feel that it's okay that they can speak in another language is a really cool thing. I mean, I'm just mind blown when two people are speaking a language that I don't understand, and I find it so amazing. I find it like a wonder of the world that they're able to understand what they're saying. And like the guy said in the TED Talk, it's not going to change your mind, but it's definitely going to blow your mind. And parents, big call to action for you. Pass on this priceless gift that you have to your children. Speak your native language at home. Make sure that your kids don't feel embarrassed, but they feel proud, they feel dignified to know another language other than English. You know, modernization and globalization is happening. So I'm not against learning English. We all have to, and we all should. But I'm worried that in that process, we will lose our culture, we will lose our diversity, we will lose our literature. And I think it's on our shoulders. Whether we accept the responsibility or not, it's our responsibility. If we don't take the effort to know foreign languages, they will disappear. So try it out this week. Spread the love, spread the enthusiasm of different languages. If you don't speak another language, just tell someone how much you appreciate seeing them talk in a different language. And that's about it for this week, everyone. These are all reflections that I share from my life and I try to act upon. And I hope that you are learning something too, and you are thinking about these topics and reflecting on a daily basis just like I am. And remember, don't forget to look in your mind's mirror.